Welcome back to the daily crypto market update. BTC is looking pretty good. I'm still waiting and watching to see if this alert's going to play out the way I think it will. Now, while it did catch this first initial drawdown of only like 2% or so, the price of BTC obviously whipped back up. But again, just to reiterate, this does not necessarily mean price go down. It means unexpected whipsaw volatility, just like we've seen other times. So we still have a little bit longer left. I think a couple of hours until we're out of like the red zone, I guess you could say. To be honest, we're probably done with the move. I don't see any other really scary signs on the 4-hour time frame. The daily time frame is also looking pretty good. The main thing I'm seeing on the daily time frame that again, this is the crown jewel. This is the thing that I keep going back to over and over. And you'll hear me talk about short-term price action a lot for tons of coins, for Bitcoin, for anything. The main thing that you have to focus on, and then I always focus on as well, is the macro trend, the zoomed out weekly or the daily trend. So on faster time frames, yes, we're going to see a lot of whipsaw activity, but we need to zoom out on the daily time frame. And the daily time frame, my bias hasn't changed. I have been bullish on BTC really since about here. October, I've been this October, back over here, 2023. As soon as I saw the slow line back over here curl up, I actually had been waiting to buy more Bitcoin, watching this reversal, seeing the price come back over here in 2023. And when we were about here and I saw this taking off, this change, I actually bought more BTC here. I've been sitting on a really nice position for a while. I've only bought like a small amount on these little dips because I already deployed most of my funds back over here. So I'm already sitting pretty in a lot of my positions, but particularly for Bitcoin. So anyway, the reason why I had that confidence is on the weekly time frame. I've been paying attention to the weekly slow line, which has been pointing up. Not straight up, but like this is pretty darn close. It's amazing. So with that said, knowing that the macro trend is bullish, even with these little pullbacks that happen, the 4% moves, the 30% moves, it doesn't really change my bias in that I'm still strong bullish. Now, this is where things start to get really exciting for me because looking at the TBO, and I'm actually going to hide the price right here because I want to show you what I'm talking about to make it super duper clear. So the TBO Cloud is this mass right here, this green mass, then this red cloud right here. So we saw the slow line curl up dramatically and just start shooting up higher and higher and higher. And eventually it got to this point where it kind of topped out and went sideways. Now what's happening with this cloud is that it is actually starting to move up. Oh, click the wrong button. This is what's getting me excited. Seeing this cloud start to tick up higher like this is such a bullish sign. And the reason for that is easy. The slow line takes the most energy to change its direction. Zooming back out, looking at the price, yes, of course, the price of Bitcoin fell down from 109K all the way down to 74K, 31% over 77 days, while the line was still moving up. This gave me confidence to buy the dip. So even if you bought the dip too early, down here at 84K, and the price went against us by another 11%, guess what? You're still in the green. Even if you bought on the pump up here to 91K, feeling like a champ, and the price goes against us, guess what? You're still in the green. As long as this slow line is angling up, it gives me confidence to buy the dip and to use a DCA strategy, which hasn't changed for me for about a year and a half, since October 2023. So the big news about today is that we're finally seeing the TBO slow line start to curl up. I want to zoom out to one more spot in its history where it did this exact thing. Notice the shape of the cloud, the coloring from red to gray to green and curling up like that. Literally what we saw right back over here, red to gray to green and curling up. And note the breakouts. We could actually go back over to October 2023. red to gray to green, curling up. There's our breakouts. So why am I showing those two instances, excuse me? Because we saw a big bullish move of about 40% lasting 68 days back there in November. This bullish move was 40% over 40 days. Nothing has really changed my my thesis on BTC going up approximately up here to like 150K or so, like just below, like 147K is that 40% mark. Nothing's really changed that. If anything, now that the price is holding above TBO resistance and we're seeing the slow line curling up, we're good. Like, I don't care if we have these little mini pullbacks. I know that they're going to be causing a lot of short-term pain for people and frustration or anxiety. But is volume outperforming the moving average? It is. That means that the bullish move is sustained. Is on-balance volume trending above the moving average? And is the moving average pointing up? Yes and yes. Now, RSI is looking a little bit wimpy on the daily, but on the weekly time frame, last I checked, weekly RSI is still above 70, which is bullish confirmation mode. Seeing this means that we should expect BTC to continue to range up higher. So for all of you that are confused about things that I'm saying in regards to short-term volatility, it's short-term volatility. I'm long-term bullish. That's been the case since October 2023. So anyway, I just want to address some of those things. Now, I also said yesterday, don't be surprised when Bitcoin is falling and other charts are pumping. We actually saw a lot of that happening yesterday with some of these picks that I have right here. But more interestingly, Ethereum closed up pretty decently, up 3%. From wick to wick, it was actually up 8% yesterday. This is incredible because it's Ethereum. I know a lot of you are going to be saying, well, it's this XNX, whatever, it's the number 2 coin market cap, has all this total value locked. It has all this. You look at this chart and you tell me, does this look like a bullish chart? Now it does. But from here, December, down here, down 64% in 122 days. You want to tell me that's a bullish chart? Oh, wait. Guys, it's not bullish. It's having a bullish bounce right now. And while it's above the cloud, yes, now it's strong bullish. Did I already let you know when it was going to be flipping bullish? Yes, I did. I told you when it printed a TBO closed short way down here when the price was at 1783, and now it's up 48%. So I'm not trying to rag too much on Ethereum, but I want to say that when Bitcoin has volatility, don't be surprised when other coins do better than Bitcoin, especially top 10 coins. Now, Ethereum is getting more and more exciting, but it's struggling right now in the short term. Let me just make this really easy chart. Nice and naked chart. Turn off the lights, everybody. It's going to get hot. So we have clear resistance right here at 2739. There's nothing wrong with this resistance level. If we turn on our fibs, last I checked, we are above the 618, which is a good sign. But for some reason, it's struggling to push above 2739. We have a push here, a test here, test, kind of a test yesterday, but it's not really doing it. Now, the price action is way too recent to start going crazy with drawings like, oh yeah, well, this is definitely a bullish ascending wedge because it has this level up here and we're making higher lows. Like, it could be, but that's a really, really short amount of time to do some sort of TA like that, in my opinion. So what can we do in regards to the TBO? Well, when the price is above the cloud, again, this red mass, which is now turning gray, and soon it will be green, it's confirmed, in my opinion, as strong bullish. Now, strong bullish does not mean pumping up to $1 million. Strong bullish just means that we have now changed the direction. To invert this, Ethereum was strong bearish back over here. And note, when it fell below the cloud, I haven't inverted, but just to give all of you permabulls an idea of what this looks like, when we see it above the cloud like this, it's going to be a little bit of chop like this, but eventually we'll see it rip higher and higher and higher. Now, we obviously know that that was actually the opposite, going lower and lower and lower, but as long as it stays below the cloud, it is confirmed strong bearish and will continue to be so until it goes inside of the cloud. Now, We're just starting this move. So essentially, we're like right about here. Actually, we're really similar to this range right here. It's just the inverted version of back over here in February. So what happened after this? We saw the price dump 47%. I don't think we're going to pump necessarily 47%, although that would put us up to our 2 CME targets and knock those guys out. But Ethereum is looking better than it has in a long time. It's chugging sideways. The next thing that really needs to happen, and this is the thing that you should be watching out for, because I am for sure. On the weekly time frame, we want to see weekly RSI exceed 70. That will give us bullish confirmation, just like we've seen for Bitcoin. We want to continue to see weekly volume outperform this yellow line, this moving average. That will also tell us that there's enough momentum to keep pushing Ethereum higher. So I'm not trying to be too salty about Ethereum, because how can I complain, I guess, when I think about it this way? Because I'm still in the green after DCAing my initial position way up over here. Terrible, terrible, terrible time to do that. I was down 32%, but I DCA'd twice and I was able to average down my position. I took profit yesterday. I don't care that the price is going against me right now. I'm actually feeling fine because my break even is down so low. So if I only eke out another 3 ETH sell at an increase of 30%, cool beans, man. I've already done really well in this trade and I'm happy. And I really just want to be out of my BTC paired trades. I still have a couple open. And by the way, I did take a little bit of profit on my BTC trade yesterday. I decided that it was just because of the stop loss setting alert, I was feeling a little bit nervous in the short term. So I just want to preserve profit as much as possible. So if there's some sort of scam wake that goes lower, like 5% to get, hit my stop loss, okay, cool, whatever. It's a small position and I get closed out in the green. So it doesn't really affect me that much. But this position, Ethereum, BTC, this has been one that I've been watching for a long time, and a lot of people have been as well. It's still not looking great. It isn't on my list for today, but I'll tell you this. When ETH BTC can successfully close above the cloud, it will automatically be above the 236 fib level, which will be a significant move for ETH BTC. This chart, though, in order for it to do this, it means that Ethereum has to consistently outperform Bitcoin. And we know that it's Bitcoin season right now. So understand my caution in selling and taking profits. I'm happy that I took profits. I'm happy that I have my BTC back because I think that Bitcoin's going to do really well. Will alts do really well too? Absolutely. But I'm applying everything that I talk about in our courses at thebettertraders.com. We have 5 amazing rules in our Better Traders Journal, which is right there. It's always behind me with the gold fancy lettering. But one of those rules is I'll protect my portfolio at all costs. And sometimes that means taking profits, even taking profits a little early. There's nothing wrong with securing profits. No one went broke taking a profit. A lot of us, and a lot of you, I'll say this, with the most loving kindness that I possibly can, a lot of you in crypto are poisoned with this idea that you have to have 100x, 200x, 500x in order to be cool in crypto. You don't. Because a lot of people that get those short-term gains give them all away. James Wynn, anybody? So poor guy was up 80 million on his portfolio. One bad trade got against him and he lost 60 million or more. So understand there's nothing wrong with taking profits on the way up. There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's no glory in this game short term. And if you're trying to prove yourself to people that you don't even know, a bunch of faceless, nameless X accounts or whatever, like, cool, man. I think it's more important that you stack sats for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, for your community, for the people around you to bless and to help your community become better. That's way more valuable than showing off your P&Ls online. I don't know where this rant is coming from, but I just wanted to share that there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of profit. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So our courses give you a grounded approach to trading cryptocurrency, whether it's like an intermediate to beginner level course like this or 2 advanced courses, or if you just want to figure out, okay, what is crypto? I really don't know what it is. Over on masteringassets.com, our course, The Complete Cryptocurrency Investor, is a great ground level foundational cryptocurrency course that will help you understand how to navigate this space and flourish and thrive from an investor standpoint. let's go back over here to TradingView. And I want to talk about these picks that I have for today. Some of these will be really familiar. And you might notice that I keep bringing up some over and over. And some I bring up once and that's it. The reason I do that is simple. Honestly, it's easy. Because the reason I do it is because it's only worth bringing up coins that are doing something. I don't talk about the same coins every day except for Bitcoin. That's the easy one because Bitcoin drives the bus. Now, AAVE continues to pump and slowly push up higher. Even though it has a TBT bearish divergence signal from last week, it is strong bullish above the cloud. The slow line's not pointing up yet, but all three other lines, TBO fast, medium slow, are all pointing up. Now, this is the important thing. Because volume continues to pump, this chart is still strong. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the decrease short term in volume. Now, this has happened back over here before as well. So it's not necessarily like something to be terribly afraid of. But when we have decreases in volume, just be mindful of those moments, okay? And we really want to see today's volume exceed this moving average, ideally. So just keep that in mind. But RSI is still massively overbought, which is incredible. There's so much momentum in this chart, and we are overbought on the weekly RSI level. It's a great looking chart. So there might be a short-term return down here to the TBO fast line at 241, just above the 618 level. Shouldn't be that much of a big deal, to be honest. Jupe, remember this one? So we have an open long, it retraces back to the fast line, retraces back to the fast line, and now Jupe is moving up higher towards the top of the cloud. I've been giving you guys lots of tips on how to use the TBO, or even just moving averages in general, on how to get re-entries into charts that are having pullbacks. You're welcome. Injective protocol, this one is now successfully above the daily TBO Cloud, which is fantastic. It's also overbought again on RSI. Weekly is also printing a TBO close short. Now, this is massively high above our support levels. So I'm not super duper excited about that point, but this is a great turning point signal. And I think it's actually the first one on this chart, which is wild. So seeing this, it's telling me that, well, the bearish trend is reversing. So we should expect the price to retreat back to the fast line on the weekly, which could take a couple weeks. But ultimately, I think Injective is heading all the way up there to $42. SPX doesn't have anything like that on the weekly yet, but on the daily time frame had a really nice close up yesterday of 8%. Even though it has this TBT bearish divergence signal, volume actually won on the day. On balance volume is looking great. And because the price is above the daily fast line, because it's above the cloud, it is strong bullish. I really want to see SPX hold above this 2.0 fib extension level. And the next target for this chart is not going to be here, the 272, because that's a little bit jumping the gun. It has to break above this level here, which is about $1.54, which from the current price is an increase of about 64%. Just understand that price is also reaching historical price-based resistance. So there is a point of resistance here at about $1.15. Once it gets above $1, just watch out because it might have a quick whip up here to like $1.47 or so. Just be careful about it. Just manage your expectations. Once it starts getting up to resistance, don't be afraid to take out some profit. That's what I'm going to be doing. Even if it continues to rip up for another 1,000%, I don't care. I'm just going to secure a little bit of profit on this trade. Now, a couple of updates. PENDLE, remember this one has a TBO breakout cluster on the daily time frame. We don't have a breakout yet, but yesterday was a really nice close of 5%. We're starting to see a little bit of a move, like the tiniest, bittiest bit of a move. Maker, this one is yet to materialize the breakout. Still waiting on that. But Quant, this one I shared yesterday, showing that it had some really wild volatility, up 10%. Yesterday it closed up 6% on the 4-hour time frame. Also has 2 recent TBO breakouts on the 4-hour, and it's up today, 1.37% so far. So it's also strong bullish above the cloud, similar to Ethereum. Actually, really similar to how Ethereum looks, right? We're just not seeing the next move or the next leg of that. KAITO, this one had a really nice close as well. Yesterday, up 13% and printed some TBO breakouts on the 4-hour time frame. Now, TIA, this is one that I've been watching a long time. I'm really waiting on it to print another one of these on the daily time frame, a TBO close short. But we actually got 3 of these recently on the 4-hour time frame. So in the short term, I think it's reasonable to see TIA shoot up here about 13-14% to TBO resistance. That's an easy short-term target for TIA in my opinion. Solana still has these 3 TBO closed longs on the 4-hour. So there's that little bit of a hesitancy about this position going up higher. But on the daily time frame, we have to ask ourselves, what's the macro status? Is the price above the cloud? Yep. So is it strong bullish? It is. Is the slow line pointing up? Not yet. On the weekly, are we overbought? Not yet. Are we above the cloud on the weekly? Not yet. So while I want to see Solana go up higher, we also have to admit the truth that it's not super duper strong bullish like a lot of these other charts are right now. And a word of caution to all of you with FARTCOIN, as much of a great chart as this is for trading, there are a couple of signs just to pay attention to. For one, this is a really poorly drawn resistance level, but you can clearly see we're getting some lower highs on RSI. Volume is starting to clearly fall down. The moving average, you can clearly see it going down. Even though price is moving up higher, if volume's falling and price is moving up higher, that's an unsustainable move. Is the price above the daily TBO Cloud? Yes, it is. Did it print a breakout? Yeah, it sure did. But it also has 2 recent TBT divergence signals. And it's also had an incredible move up higher. Let's be honest. Like since support up here, it's 351% in the green. It's insane. So again, similar to Solana, it has 3 TBO closed longs on the 4-hour time frame. So something to be wary of there as well. Now, hype. This one has had an amazing rip and roaring rally. I do expect hype to go up higher, but we cannot ignore a new TBT bearish divergence signal. However, are all 4 lines pointing up? Almost. The slow line is just starting to curl up higher. Looking over here on volume, volume is still amazing. On balance volume still amazing. RSI still amazing, even though it's red right now. In my opinion, this is a buy the dip opportunity. But just be careful because it has had an incredible rally up until this point. Monero XMR, similar story. Amazing rally. Yesterday closed down 7%. But where is it going to? It's going right to the TBO fast line. If anything, it actually just wicked into it today. Did that actually happen? I have to zoom in really far. It did. So that's our re-entry target right there. Now on these re-entry bounces, what I usually like to do is I don't aim for the tip top. I like to go a little bit lower, and TBO resistance just got moved here to $403. So I still think that XMR Monero will go higher. Again, we have these TBO breakouts on the weekly. RSI is starting to look a little bit weak, but we still have 5 days left in the week. A couple of charts to keep an eye on. WIF, I'm still watching this one to see when it's going to break out above this long-term overhead resistance level that has been a huge pain in the butt to watch. Volume has fallen down a lot with this one. So is the momentum, so is the excitement. But I think once this breaks above it, it will pump higher. Aptos, similar story, nothing's happening. And the chart's a total snooze fest, but I'm expecting it to positively react when it closes above resistance. Cake had a really nice pump yesterday, but an adversely huge pump. The moving average here is 17 million, but the pump was 93 million. It's I would say like 8 times the amount, which is insane, like 7 times the amount of volume, which is massive. So clearly it's a pump and dump. The other thing to keep in mind is the price is hitting short-term, or rather historical TBO resistance here at 274 and here at 290. So just be aware of this. If you're trying to chase it on faster timeframes, just be content with some quicker take profit targets. If you're trying to chase this now after it's pumped, just be careful. I mean, yes, it could continue to rip higher, but it's already seen a lot of volume. The last one I want to share with you is SmartX. This is one that I don't mind saying that I have exposure to. I've been trading this one for a while. I like SmartX. I think it's going to do really well. It saw some decent volume, some decent price action finally, up 6%, 4%. I'm still watching this one for some breakouts, not seeing any new ones on the 4-hour or the daily, but I am seeing that volume is coming in a little bit more. It used to be way bigger, but again, this is BitGet, so this is a pretty small exchange comparatively to other ones. So if you want access to the TBO indicator, to TBD diversions, to market analysis, trade setups, all that fun stuff that we have in the club, including the TPT stop loss setting alert, you have to join the Better Traders Club. The link to sign up is down below. We have 4 tiers from Crypto Cheapo to Crypto Pro. So if you want the TBO, you got to join the Trader tier. If you want TBT diversions and TBO Pro, join the Pro tier. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.